You think depression is sadness, but it's not. It's the absence of feeling anything at all. It's waking up in a world that has lost its color, where your own heartbeat sounds foreign and your reflection feels like a stranger wearing your face. Right now, you're not just watching this video. You're looking for proof that you still exist, that somewhere beneath the numbness, the real you is still breathing, still fighting, still hoping that tomorrow might feel different than today. What if I told you that your depression isn't a disease to cure, but a message to decode? That the emptiness you feel isn't your failure, but your psyche's desperate attempt to get your attention. You've been living someone else's life for so long that your soul went on strike. You've been wearing a mask so long, it grew skin. Every morning you perform the ritual of normalcy. Shower, coffee, smile at the neighbor. Pretend your chest isn't collapsing inward. You've become so good at functioning that nobody sees you drowning in plain sight. Depression isn't just chemical, it's architectural. You built a life that looks perfect from the outside while your inner world slowly suffocated. You optimized for everyone else's comfort and forgot to ask, what does my soul actually want? The trap isn't that you're broken. The trap is that you've been trying to fix yourself with the same thinking that broke you in the first place. You've been medicating symptoms while the root, your disconnection from your authentic self, remains untouched. You scroll through social media, seeing everyone else's highlight reel, wondering why you can't summon the energy to pretend anymore. The truth is, you're not depressed because you're weak. You're depressed because you're finally too exhausted to lie to yourself. This isn't about positive thinking or gratitude journals. This is about archaeology, digging through layers of learned helplessness to find the part of you that got buried alive. The part that's been screaming silently, waiting for you to listen. Carl Jung whispered the secret from beyond the grave. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. He knew that depression often masks our terror of becoming who we really are, not who we were programmed to be. Nietzsche, writing through his own darkness, proclaimed, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." But he wasn't talking about endurance. He was talking about transformation, about using suffering as raw material for rebuilding yourself from the inside out. The ancient Greeks had a word, metanoia, a fundamental change of mind. Not just thinking differently, but becoming different. Depression is often your psyche demanding metanoia, refusing to let you sleepwalk through another day of borrowed dreams. Modern neuroscience confirms what mystics always knew. Your brain can rewire itself at any age. But first, you have to stop feeding the neural pathways that keep you trapped. You have to starve the thoughts that have been eating you alive. The hidden code isn't in some external salvation. It's in the recognition that your depression might be the most honest thing about you. Your authentic self refusing to collaborate with a life that doesn't serve your deepest nature. Sarah, a successful lawyer, sat in her corner office overlooking Manhattan, earning 6 figures, and felt like she was dying inside. She had everything she was told she wanted and nothing her soul actually needed. Her depression wasn't a malfunction. It was her inner compass screaming that she was heading in the wrong direction. Studies show that 60% of people in high-achieving careers report feeling empty despite external success. The more you climb ladders that aren't leaning against your own building, the more isolated you become from yourself. Here's the paradox. The more you heal, the more alone you feel. That's not failure, it's freedom. As you stop people-pleasing and start authentic being, your social circle shrinks, but your self-contact deepens. The loneliness you feel isn't punishment. It's the space between who you were and who you're becoming. Depression often emerges when you've outgrown your old identity but haven't yet birthed your new one. You're in the liminal space, the psychological wilderness between death and rebirth. This isn't pathology. This is metamorphosis. The parallel truth is that your breakdown might be your breakthrough in disguise. Your psyche is burning down everything false so something real can finally grow. The question isn't, why me? But what is trying to be born through this destruction? This is why you can't concentrate. Why conversations feel like performing Shakespeare in a foreign language. Why your bed has become both your sanctuary and your prison. Your nervous system has been hijacked by a story that isn't true, that you're powerless, worthless, hopeless. You've been living in your head so long that you've forgotten you have a body. Depression disconnects you from your animal self, the part that knows how to breathe deeply, move freely, feel fully. You've become a ghost haunting your own life. This is why joy feels suspicious, why laughter sounds hollow, why sunrise looks like just another obligation to endure. You've been holding your breath for so long that aliveness itself feels foreign. Your romantic relationships suffer because you can't receive love while rejecting yourself. Your friendships fade because you're convinced you're too much or not enough. You isolate not because you hate people, but because you hate the version of yourself you become around them. The body count isn't just about depression's toll on your life. It's about all the versions of yourself that had to die so this awakening could begin. They told you to chase success. They never asked if you were whole. From childhood, you were trained to optimize for external validation while your internal world was left unattended. You learned to perform rather than be, to achieve rather than become. The education system taught you to memorize but not to think. The economic system taught you to consume but not to create. The social system taught you to compete but not to connect. No wonder your soul feels like a stranger. Your depression isn't personal failure. It's a natural response to an unnatural world. A world that sells you solutions to problems it creates. That promises happiness through acquisition while systematically disconnecting you from the source of genuine fulfillment, authentic self-expression. They medicalized your spiritual crisis, pathologized your existential questioning, turned your soul's rebellion into a disorder to be managed rather than a message to be received. They told you to adjust to a sick society instead of healing your relationship with yourself. The lie isn't that you're broken. The lie is that there's something wrong with feeling broken in a broken world. Your sensitivity isn't pathology, it's perception. Your depression isn't malfunction, it's intelligence responding to dysfunction. Your journey of self-improvement is just ego renovation. Real healing doesn't happen through techniques. It happens through relationship. The relationship with the parts of yourself you've been abandoning. You are not broken. You are breaking open. What you call depression might be your soul's way of composing its own funeral song, mourning the death of who you thought you had to be so who you really are can finally breathe. The 5 steps aren't a ladder to climb out of depression. They're a spiral to descend into, deeper into the truth of who you are beneath the masks, the roles, the borrowed dreams. Step 1. Name your shadow. Step 2. Break the loop. Step 3. Return to your body. Step 4. Reconstruct meaning. Step 5. Choose the climb. But here's what no one tells you. The goal isn't to never feel depressed again. The goal is to develop the capacity to dance with all of life's seasons, including winter. To stop seeing darkness as your enemy and start seeing it as your teacher. This isn't about fixing yourself. This is about befriending yourself, about learning to hold space for your own complexity without trying to solve it, about recognizing that your depth isn't dysfunction. It's your greatest gift. You came here for answers. You're leaving with better questions. What if your depression isn't something to overcome, but something to understand? What if your pain isn't punishment, but preparation? What if your breaking is actually your making? This channel is not for comfort. It's for remembering. For those brave enough to stop pretending and start becoming. For souls who would rather face the truth than live the lie. If this stirred something in you, something you can't quite name but can definitely feel, then you're ready for the real work. Not the work of self-improvement, but the work of self-recovery, of finding the you that got lost in the translation from authentic to acceptable. Share in the comments. What part of you is this video awakening? What truth are you finally ready to stop running from? Your words might be the permission someone else needs to begin their own descent into healing. And if you're ready to destroy your illusions, to trade comfort for truth, to choose growth over safety, This is your home. Subscribe not for entertainment, but for transformation, for the journey back to yourself. Remember, you didn't come this far just to come this far. You came this far to remember who you were before the forgetting began. And that remembering? It starts now.